Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Caddy Girl Garage. So today we're going to be finishing the tune-up on the 1960 limousine that we started yesterday. We're going to be doing the thermostat today. Obviously very important, you don't ever want to deal with overheating issues when you're out driving. So super easy to replace. If you don't already know how, we'll teach you how in the video. So stay tuned and thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the end. Have a great day everybody. Okay, so we're going to jump in and get started. Obviously, this is your thermostat housing right here. So you're going to remove these 4 bolts, as you can see here. And then always get a new gasket and brand new thermostat. So here we go. Okay, so jumping in. You don't have to remove the whole hose, but it makes it a lot easier. So you're just going to start by loosening your hose clamps on here. And then when you're wiggling on this, be careful because this is only aluminum, so you don't want to break the neck of it right here, because if you break the neck on the radiator, then you're really going to be in trouble. So these typically get nice and embedded into the hose, so just use a little screwdriver without poking the hose to pry it loose. Just kind of move it back. Obviously easier than doing it by hand. I'm going to loosen it just a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to get it off. Okay, as you can see, that came out pretty easy. May want to wear gloves, always nice and nasty. Okay, that's going to be a Phillips. I would try this one. Start by loosening this. I don't care for these kind of hose clamps either. These are kind of funky. So I want to use the typical hose clamp like this. So just replacing everything and updating it the way we want to have it helps. Everybody needs to get their car dialed in the way they want it. So that's loose. Let's see if I'm strong enough to get this off of here. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and take the air cleaner off, and maybe the oil filler cap right here as well, just to give myself a little bit more room. Makes life a little easier. So these should be 1/2 inch in size. It should be the same on most all Cadillacs, the 4 bolts that hold the thermostat housing on. Super simple, just loosen those, take it off. So we got the 4 bolts out. Sometimes these are hard to get off, but this one literally just popped right off. Easy as pie. So you want to make sure, obviously too, that you clean all of the old gasket off. So we're going to take this into the garage on the workbench. We're going to get rid of all this goop and gunk. So you definitely want that to be clean. There's your old thermostat right there. Obviously you're going to lose a little bit of water. You also want to make sure that the top of the water pump right here has no gunk on it, because you want everything to have a good, nice fit when you go ahead and put your new gasket on right there. All right, so we're gonna get started on cleaning the old one, and I'll be right back. All right, so we have our thermostat housing right here. If you just take a really sharp razor blade, you can typically just get the old gasket off. It'll just come right off. Sometimes people use a lot of like gasket sealer, which is obviously really nasty, so you're gonna have to get all of that off. This one doesn't have a lot on it, and neither does the water pump on the car. It's actually pretty clean, so it should be a nice clean fit, and it should take care of it. You can get a piece of sandpaper and put it on a nice flat surface and run this around. Just just to make sure. Already coming a lot cleaner. So for the final last bit, we're just going to put the sandpaper flat on the workbench here. You can obviously see where you kind of have your high and low spots where it still looks dirty. So just continue to go in circular motions until it all looks the same and uniform. Just want to wipe it out and make sure we get it nice and clean before we put it back. Don't want a bunch of junk going into the water jacket and the motor. I've shown this stuff in my videos before, but obviously get a good degreaser. Use it for everything. All right, now let's go do a little bit of sanding on the actual water pump itself. All right, so back outside here, I have my housing clean, as you can see. Like I said, you just want to get this nice where the new gasket will seal really well. So on here, we're not going to be painting anything. I'm not going to paint the housing. I'm not going to paint the water pump, anything like that. We like our cars to look original. This car has never been rebuilt or touched. It's got 70-ish thousand original miles on it, and that's the way we're going to leave it. They are only original once. So some people may think I'm crazy. All right, so unboxing our new thermostat right here. All pretty and clean, unlike my hands. So on these cars, you're going to see like a little recessed lip right here. The thermostat actually sits right inside that, and then the gasket will cover it. So it can't, after it's in there, it cannot move around. So that's a perfect fit. I'm going to open our new gasket here and get that on there. Always start threading your bolts by hand to make sure that nothing gets cross-threaded. You want to make sure that they go in nice and smooth. We'll tighten with the socket later. So I just kind of went around and snugged them all down, and then I'll do the final tighten once they're all just kind of snug. This one you have to use a long extension because it's a lot of fun to reach. Okay, so that one's tight. Now we'll go to this one. So just finishing the tightening process, and like I said, you want to have these pretty darn tight because obviously you do not want any water leaks. And they're steel, so you're not going to hurt them. Oh, that one doesn't want to stay on. That little bracket is being a pain because it keeps spinning all the way around, so we're going to have to fix that. I'm just going to make sure this goes back on properly, the throttle return spring. Right to there, and that works. Alright, so now we're going to get our hose put back on. Change out this nasty clamp that I was talking about. I'm going to clean this off a bit before we put our hose back on. So like I said, obviously when putting this one back on, just be delicate about it. Don't want to break the neck of the radiator. That went on super easy. Pleased with that. And then be conscientious too of where you put the hose clamps so that you can always get to it easily with a screwdriver. So obviously when you're done, you always want to fire it up and check for leaks. So we're going to do that right now. Looks like a good job, well done. Okay, so we're done with our thermostat project for today. We braved the wind out here. Sorry for the extra noise. But if you like the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It helps my channel grow. I post classic Cadillac content weekly. I have some new cars coming in that'll be for sale soon. We're doing a restoration project on a 1960 hearse if you haven't seen that video yet. But as always, thank you for your love and support, and thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, everybody. Take care.